My pledge of allegiance to Africa. I pledge allegiance to Africa, home of the first civilization of mankind, the second largest continent on earth, rich with natural resources like gold, diamonds, coltan, uranium, iron ore, and much more. I will defend you from enemies, both foreign and domestic. I will fight for you. I will die for you. With dignity, a clean conscience, and no malice in my heart, these things I pledge. Hi, wonderful people. I'm Mr. Yusuf, and I'm known as the mind builder and mentor of children. We're here at KDC Podcast in Accra, Ghana. And this evening's episode, we like to talk about the way that Africa can come together and work together, even though we have opposition parties. We have opposing parties in every African country, and we need to figure out how we can join hands, join ranks, and make this continent, and particularly in Ghana, because we're here in Ghana broadcasting, how we can make it a win-win for all. Just because one party is in power, it doesn't mean that they should forget about the other people. Um, the opportunity is here. For no matter which party is in power, the opportunity is here that we can make Africa a better place. We can give a better quality of life for people, even though we have opposing political parties. I look at China, how China blew up. 30, 40 years ago, the Chinese people, they had maybe half of their population was living below the level of poverty. And look where they are today. The Chinese people, they have one of the largest economies in the world, maybe the second or the third largest economy in the world. And just 40 years ago, they were, half of their population was living below poverty. So we need to take a lesson from the playbook of the Chinese people. How did they develop, so quickly, into what they are to be, super, global economic power? So I say that we have to stop. We have to stop fighting each other. About which party is better than the other party. That should not be our concern. Both parties should sit down and say, well, how can we work together? Even though my party may not be in power today, but I still have to work, in cahoots with the opposition, and that seems to be a problem here that we're not fixing. So I suggest, that the politicians set tribalism apart, cronyism. This is my friend, so I do for him. We don't do for the others, and it's not really helping, us develop. And development, economic development is one of the priorities that any party in power, should be concerned with, economic development, because it's kind of like the crust, of what needs to be done, on this African continent. So I say that we should become brothers in love, in peace. We should understand that, we're all that we have, as African people. We're all that we have, and no one's going to come in and rescue us. So we have to spend more time thinking and solving problems that affect most of the people. Most of our population is affected by the poverty, that's here. And we can take a lesson from the president of Burkina Faso. If we are at odds on what we should be doing, we should watch President Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso. I had the opportunity to go to meet him. Even though I didn't meet him, I I was welcomed by his chief of staff. I did go to the palace in Ouagadougou, and I sat down with the chief of staff, the chief of protocol for President Ibrahim Traore, and I was received very warmly, you know. So we have to take a lesson from this man. We need to follow him, follow his example. And he's a young man, you know. And, you know, God willing, he'll be around a lot longer with us, you know, and to show us the way. You know, we need, you know, proper leadership. We need leadership that can manage, you know, our affairs. And that's what's lacking. I mean, I'm not a politician. I'm just an observer, you know. And what I see is that things are not being managed well in most of the African continents. And I see the love and the happiness that people are getting from this young president in Burkina Faso. So I say we need to take a lesson from his playbook and follow him and let him lead us. If Africa ever become the United States of Africa, we need a leader like Ibrahim Traore, you know, to lead us, to guide us. You know, a man who is not selfish, a man who takes who looks after his people first. You know, his people first. I believe that this man does not go to bed at night and not feel bad about people in his country, his community who don't have food to eat. I think it bothers him. He has that type of consciousness and concern. And this is what we need to have in the leadership of all of our African presidents. So let's come together. Let's work together. Opposition party, if you're not in power, it doesn't matter. We still have to work together. And we have a good example in this president in Burkina Faso. I'd like to thank you for listening, you know, to the broadcast this evening. Like I said, we're new, and we're broadcasting from Accra, Ghana. And I'd like for you to subscribe to our channel, you know, our podcast, our YouTube channel, and also follow us on all of the social media platforms that we are on. And I thank you for your time and listening to me. And don't forget to subscribe and like this broadcast. Okay, that's all for now. Bye. See you next time.